Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy Chuckles here, coming at you with another review. This time we have the kind of, sort of new Famas F1 EVO by Cybergun. Ooh. So, a little bit of history about the Famas. The Famas is very unique in the world of Airsoft. The first Airsoft gun ever was actually the Tokyo Marui Famas. It uses the version 1 gearbox. No other gun uses that gearbox, except for the Famas's, which is pretty cool, but for the most part, compatible with version 2, version 3, normal parts. So this guy is an update from a gearbox design that's kind of old, not really too much crazy going on with it, but there are a few upgrades in this guy that'll make it a lot nicer to perform than your standard sub-$150 Famas. So we're gonna take a look at this thing in depth. So the body on this guy is an injection molded polymer, so it feels a lot more stable rather than the plastic body that you had known of past. It actually feels like this thing could take a beating. It feels really solid, very secure. We'll just start from the front to the back. You have the flash hider, which has the orange tip on it. It is 14mm counterclockwise, so if you want to put on any pretty standard suppressors or anything, you can do that. You have the lug for your bayonets or grenade launchers, whichever you may have. You have the carry handle, really solid. This one, I'm really impressed with how well it holds its weight. You have the non-functional charging handle, which is also metal. And then you have the grenade sight, so that when you're launching grenades, you can do that, but it doesn't make sense in the world of Airsoft. Moving down, you have this bipod, just folds out, a little loose. It's the only loose part of this guy. Put that back up, good to go, but it'll be able to support its own weight, just like that. Then you have, on the hand guard, you have the Picatinny rail. Pretty standard, nothing too crazy about it. This one does come with this ergo grip, but it feels really flimsy. So you might want to get a nicer grip like one of the PTS ones that you'd mount on your gun. But just slides right on the rail, tighten it down, you're good to go. Up top as well, you have adjustable front and rear sights. The front sight is not adjustable for elevation, but it is adjustable for windage. You have the rear sight, which is a lot more open than the times past. We'll get you a shot of that. But the sight's a lot more open, and if you want to kind of go for the day sights, then you can. You have that option. You just have the follicles that close, and it's adjustable for elevation, but not windage. Will not move side to side. You also have another iron sight on top, which is going to be good for people that are going to be rocking their full masks. It'll be a lot easier for you to aim. Moving back, you have the trigger guard. On some Famas's, they can move out of the way to accommodate you for cold weather conditions. This one is solidly in the body, that's okay. Similar to the M1 Garand or M14, the safety is in the trigger guard. Rather than pushing it forward though, you push it to either side. So if you're a lefty, you can push it to your left, perfectly fine. You'll be able to access that. The way to access the battery compartment, which is the front, is you actually push it once, and then you push it forward, and the foregrip comes off. This will accommodate a 9/6 split type. So anything that you could honestly fit in there, you wouldn't have any problems running into that. So the cool thing about this guy is that the trigger response is a lot better. The trigger pull's a lot cleaner. It's still not like the smallest trigger pull ever, but the MOSFET that they actually put in this thing definitely helps. Cool thing is that the grip, kind of ergonomic, solid, but there's nothing really comfortable about it. It does open at the bottom, boom, so you can put batteries and snacks and whatever you want in there, I guess. Put your M&Ms in there. Moving back, you have the mag wheel. The mag release is right in front of it, so you have to press down, and then the mag will come out. I found that to put the mag back in, the most effective way is to put the rear side in first, and then flick it forward. So the inverse of what you would do with an AK. You can try to force it in like that, that'll be fine, but I find it's easier to just get it on the track, hit it up, and you're good to go. The Famas does come with a 300 round high cap. I believe they do make mid caps. They're really hard to come by, but you'll always be able to find the high caps. They're actually pretty well made, and no, contrary to whatever you may see, it does not use M4 mags, but it shoots the 5.56. And it looks like an M4 mag, but it isn't. So, it's pretty fresh too. You can see right above the mag well, it says Famas F1 6mm, your unique serial number, which a lot of guns have been coming out with these days. Make everybody feel kind of special about owning their own gun. Next, right here up top, you got the hop-up adjustment. So, the cheek cover, just push that up off the top. Locks right into the bottom, you can pull it right off. And then you can see here that there is a really nice, actually hop-up, a dial. This thing's a lot nicer because it has very clear directions on where it is, and you don't need to pull back anything to do it, honestly. So if you were shooting, pop up, do the thing, so that it would be fixed by a super easy grip with your fingers. That'd be no problem to do. And then when you want to put it back on, you can swap sides, so it's easier to access for either side, but the thing will clip right back on. It has a rear sling mount. It is metal. It's attached to the butt pad. The butt pad is rubberized, has some studs in it, so it'll really be good for if you have some sort of a combat shirt or just BDU or anything. It'll really get a nice solid grip. It's rubbery, so it won't go anywhere. Last but not least, you head right underneath behind the mag wheel, you have another safety. This is the selector, so this has safe, semi, and full auto. So that is also the safety. So if that safety is on and this safety is on, it won't fire. You can still pull the trigger, but it pretty much just disengages the trigger. Set it to semi, it'll be semi. Full, it'll be full. A cool feature that this guy has is a 3-round burst option. Now, that is just whenever you every time you hit the trigger on full auto. So you don't know, if you're not holding it down and you just pull the trigger, it'll just shoot 3-round burst over and over, which is pretty cool. But then you have the option if you need to go have a full auto burst, if you just hold it down, it'll shoot 3 BBs, like take maybe half a second, and then it'll just start laying out BBs on a regular full auto, which is pretty fresh, not gonna lie. So that's a really cool and interesting feature, and the real Famas does that, I believe. So to have the Airsoft Famas do that, pretty cool. But the good thing about having 2 safeties is you can always have it on semi so that you're ready to go. Flick it if you're on like a patrol or something, you hit quick contact and you need to engage, you can do that pretty quickly. And it is ambidextrous, that selector. You can access this from either side, similar as like a magazine release, let's say, on an MP5 or an AK or something like that. So, pretty fresh. Alright, I've talked about this thing enough. Let's take it on over to the chrono booth, see what kind of results we can get. So, from the chrono test, you see that this thing's shooting at about 290 to 300, 305 feet per second with a 0.25 gram BB, which is perfect for indoors. That's kind of where most bullpup guns do very well. But like I said, it's a version 1, so some of the parts you will be able to upgrade and swap out for any standard version 2 parts. Rate of fire wasn't anything to be super impressed with. You saw about 9, 10, 12 maybe at the most rounds per second, so you're not really going to be shooting this thing on full auto probably or relying on it, but it'll be enough to keep heads down if you do find yourself in an engagement where you need to use fully automatic. The advantage that bullpups have is that they have a much longer barrel in the size of a compact rifle. So you might have an M16 length barrel in the size of something that's like an M4 SBR or like a carbine length rifle. So you have that compact package. The trade-off that you do, especially with Airsoft, is that it's a lot heavier in the back, but that's a give or take. It's going to be against your body the whole time, so it's kind of good to have all of the weight there so that you have no weight up front to really obstruct you from manipulating the weapon. And like I said, with the MOSFET, you'll be able to crank an 11.1 in this thing, Would I recommend it? Probably not the best option to do, but it'll be able to handle 7.4, 9.6, 8.4. It'll handle all of those things because it does have the MOSFET. The MOSFET will monitor the amount of electricity going into the gun. But just be wary. You can use an 11.1, but it's not recommended. Thing doesn't come with a battery or a charger, so you can use whatever you already have in your arsenal. Or if this is your first gun, you can put whatever you want in it and not really have to worry about kind of training it out. And like I said, the one problem that you run into with the Famas is the magazines, since they are proprietary, but they're relatively inexpensive. You're probably never going to spend more than like $14 on a high cap, same as an M4, so you'll be able to have plenty of mags that'll fit in an M4 pouch and do the job, but you just have a more compact package with a MOSFET and a much more durable body with a couple more accessories than you would normally run into. And that's been a review. Hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions or comments or concerns, please leave them down in the comments section below. Let us know whether you think this thing is enough to make you a believer in getting yourself an actual Famas. These guys retail about the $200 price point, so it is definitely an intermediate level gun, but you're definitely getting what you pay for. You have a much more solid platform than the plastic, low quality conventional Famases that have been around. I'm not talking about the Tokyo Marui, like the initial Cybergun ones, but Cybergun stepped up their game definitely with this thing, so make sure you guys go check it out. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, subscribe to our channel, make sure you hit that notification bell if you haven't already to know whenever we're posting up our videos, reviews, podcasts, whatever. And if you liked the video, definitely don't forget to give it a like. If you didn't like it, let us know what you think we could have done better. Other than that, it's been your boy Chuckles, and we'll see you guys next time. Next, you have the trigger, which the cool thing about this guy is that it has a Famas. The cool thing about this guy is that it has a MOSFET. And she,
It's gotta be inappropriate.
it's bad. It's bad, okay? Her boyfriend gets drafted into the army, so she goes and sleeps with some other dudes. And that's the Macarena.
That's the Macarena?
That's the Macarena. That's what it's about. It's about this dude that goes into conscription. His girlfriend sleeps, has a threesome.